All right, you guys, back with another video. Joshua Tree. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for being back on the channel. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed to my channel thus far. Just to get into a commercial before we start this video, if anyone would like to work for me, I work with me. I do energy healing sessions. I am a breathwork facilitator. I am a tantric teacher and practitioner, and I do spiritual consultations. If you're interested in working with me, I will leave a link in the description, and you can just email me or see my website. And so yeah, let's get into this video. So this video today, I want to talk about sexual entities. I know this is something that's very popular amongst a lot of spiritual communities, and a lot of people, especially a lot of women, have been being very mindful of who they're having sexual engagement with, due to the fact that they can inherit or receive some type of sexual entity that will be attached to them. So this particular video is kind of linked to the other previous videos on how I talked about how to make a spiritual bath. I talked about hugging people and entities, removing entities. I talked about how to make a spiritual bath, and this, that, and the third. So this video is going to be more into that series of videos where I'm talking about sexual entities. And also, before I get into the video, just let you guys know, I do practice Tantra. I have been practicing Tantra for almost two years now. So I do know a little good bit about sexual energy as well as sexual entities and things of that nature. But I will definitely share it with you guys, my story of what I've experienced with dealing with sexual energies and stuff like that. And so let's just get into the video. So I think I want to label this video, rubbers cannot protect you from sexual entities. So before we get deep into the video, let's talk about rubbers, condoms, latex condoms. I think it's called prophylactic, whatever these words that people use. But all in all, we're talking about rubber, right? We're talking about rubber. So when a guy says, I'm about to put on a rubber, what he's really saying is, I'm about to put on an insulator. What is an insulator? An insulator is a type of material that blocks energetic energy or electrical current of energy throughout the wire or the current or what have you. So like, for someone who's into who's an electrician, they understand what I'm talking about. But just in general, rubbers are used to block out energy. In the documentary, the documentary called Earthing, which is talking about grounding, they talked about how the rubber soles on our feet hinder us from connecting to the earth because of the rubber. It is a type of material that blocks out energy or blocks out electricity. So when you think about having sex with someone, the thing that the guy says is, okay, I need a rubber. What he's really doing, or what we don't even realize about this whole phenomenon, is that we are energetic beings naturally. You can't tell me shit about energy in terms of how it works and how we can utilize it. We are energetic beings, period. And so when a guy puts on a rubber, what he's doing is he is blocking the energy current or the energetic projection that's coming out of his penis into the woman's vagina. He's blocking that energy. And of course, we know sperm is the physical substance that gets into the woman's vagina. But on an energetic level, energetically, this material, which is, like I said, insulator, in this particular case would be rubber, is blocking that energetic current or electrical current from entering into the woman's womb. So that's something like a little extra for you guys to kind of understand about when you're having sex with someone. It's always energetic. It's always energetic. It's always going to be some type of energetic exchange. It's just like giving a hug. When you give a hug to certain people, you feel good afterwards. Sometimes you don't. That's an energy exchange. When you handshake someone, give someone a handshake, that's an energy exchange. Even when you're conversating with someone, it's an energy exchange. This is nothing deep, because when you pay attention to people you talk to, sometimes you feel very tired, and sometimes you feel very inspired, or you feel very energized. That person's vibration, the way they talk, whatever they're talking about, inspired you in a certain way. Therefore, they gave you a piece of their energy, and vice versa. So it's an energy exchange. So we already know we're doing energy exchanges through sex alone. So moving forward, just to give you guys a bit of a story. I probably started my healing journey, probably like 2018. And around that time, I was suffering from a heartbreak. And during that whole experience, after the heartbreak, I did what most, people do. Especially for men, we go back to our old exes and girls that we dealt with and try to have sex with them to try to block out the pain. But it wasn't working for me. So I did try to go back to some of the women that I was dealing with and to try to have sex with them. But something different was happening versus before I got into my whole spiritual awakening or what have you. Every time I have sex with these particular women, I would have nightmares immediately afterwards. And I don't mean like no regular type of nightmares. I'm talking about some shit that had you staying up for 3 days. Like, it was very, 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 very dark. And I didn't know why. I thought it was me. But then I reflected on it. I'm like, I don't have nightmares. I'm not a person who generally has nightmares. So I'm like, I have to be getting it from them. So having sex with these particular women that I was dealing with, they was giving me something that was around. And that 9 times out of 10, whatever that dream was, it had to be something dealing with something that was attached to them, some type of spiritual entity, some type of entity, sexual entity. And entities, they're said that some like psychic people who are very like clairvoyant can like really see. They can, and I've seen this too, so it's a fact, but you can see the face of an entity. You can see how hideous it looks, how monstrous it looks. It actually has a face. Some of these movies that they show all these demons and like poltergeist or like maybe Exorcist or some type of like I don't know, Insidious type movies. They show all these demon possessions and all this type of stuff. That shit real as fuck. This is a disclaimer. That shit is real as fuck. And if you can see energy like that, you will be able to see that type of energy. So like I said, I tried to understand why was I having these nightmares. And long story short, I figured it was because of the fact that I was picking up something from these women that I was having sex with. So what that made me do is I stopped having sex altogether, and so I went celibate for a year. I was celibate for a year, or I ain't gonna say celibate because there's a difference between celibate and abstinence. I was abstinent for like a year, and then of course I broke it within like a year and a couple of months. But even till date, that was like in 2018, even till today, I don't have a lot of sexual partners. In 2023, I had sex with one person in the whole 365 days. Sex with one person, and it wasn't consistent. It was maybe like for a few days, and then I saw him again maybe 6 months later. So I wasn't having sex as much last year. And even to this day, I'm still like that. I do not have a lot of sex with a lot of partners. Another thing too about sexual engagement in a spiritual sense, sometimes this is why they say that a lot of the women naturally don't like to have sex with multiple partners, because women naturally can pick up on the energy more than men can. Men are not as sensitive to energy, because all sexual entities is just different types of energy. This has somewhat of a sexual context to it, but women can pick up on the energy exchange and the energy influence and how they feel. Very, in a very like on the spot, like directly while it's happening type vibe. Men sometimes can't pick that up, and so Some women will make that conscious decision to not have sex with a bunch of partners because they do not want to experience that. And they know that it's a truth to it. Also, another reason why a lot of men may get caught having sex or cheating on their partner is that if your primary energy, everyone has a primary default energy. If you're having sex with multiple partners and you're cheating on your wife and you don't think, and you're going back to your wife and have sex with your wife eventually finds out that you're doing something because of the energy exchange that you have picked up from the previous woman that you dealt with is still embodied in your aura field. And so when you have sex with someone, that energy is exchanged from your aura field or your energy field to your partner. And so if your partner knows your energy for a very long time and she starts to feel different, she's gonna know something's off. She's gonna know that you probably dealt with somebody, or she may not know what's the real reason, but she probably have a suspicion behind it. And so be mindful of that as well for men who out here cheating and shit, which is fine. Do your thing. It's not my business. But if you're doing it, just be mindful that, or be not putting this information out, because I don't fuck with fuck boys. For the women who are listening to this video, definitely be aware if you think your partner's cheating, pay attention to your energy field. If you feel any changes or anything like that, definitely get to the question and do some research, do some investigation, or just completely leave the person alone to avoid anything that needs to be avoided if it's going to be too detrimental for you to move forward. So anyway, I wanted to share that. And so sometimes, and let's just talk about the sexual entities right quick. The sexual energies, sometimes it's not like this monstrous feeling or some shit that you get. It is, majority of the time, it's just an emotional exchange. It's a lot of emotional exchanges, and it may be someone that you're having sex with, and they may be harboring over some depression or some sadness or something that's going on in their life that's very dark, or even anxiety is another form of sexual energy exchange. And if you don't deal with none of those things or have any of those like energies around you, if you're sensitive enough, or if you're aware enough, you will actually feel the change in your energy, and you will know that you probably picked up something from this particular person. So to give you an example of that, I was dealing with this one girl, probably this is like maybe just around like 2019, 18. And this was around the time I was going through my healing, like heavy healing, and I got to a place of balance. And so me and this girl, we in the hotel or whatever, we had sex like 2-3 times. And the first 2 times, I'm doing my thing or whatever, and I ejaculated, and I didn't get tired. I wasn't tired. We took a nap or whatever. Did it again. I wasn't tired. Did it again. I was so fucking drained. It was insane. And it wasn't like, so this is how you also can tell for men who may be experiencing this. This is how you also can tell if the person you're dealing with may have some energy, some strong emotional sexual energy that they may be giving you. If a man has sex and he ejaculate, and his ejaculation, he could tell like his ejaculation shouldn't have not made him that tired, then it's like, okay, so naturally when you ejaculate, you're tired. But if you're tired more than usual, then you probably took in some of that person's energy. Ejaculation is a very tiring experience or sensation, but you shouldn't be to the point where you fucking dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of it is probably you picked up some of that person's energy and they transferred into you. But like I said, most men are not aware of this, and so they just kind of bypass it, or they think it's just them having a nut, just ejaculating. They think that, oh, this is why I'm tired. But sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's literally you have took on too much emotion too that's made you very tired. So like I was saying in the story, doing it with this person or whatever like that, I was extremely tired, and I'm like, bro, like this shit don't make no sense. And I knew it was an energy exchange, because she was basically going through something around that time, and I kind of like saw it as like, okay, it's all good, but whatever, try to support her best way I can, and then we had sex. But when I realized, in like hindsight, was when I ejaculated the third time, she was extremely happy, and I was fucking all sad and down and shit. It's like I literally took her energy, and she took my energy. So pay attention to that too when you're having sex with someone. If you like happy go lucky, and then you kind of get into like a dump feeling, then that could be an indicator that y'all both have to exchange energy, especially if that person's all happy go lucky and shit. And they not naturally like that. That could be an indicator as well. And so yeah. And another time. So this is how I know also, and this can happen through a hug for me. But like, if I have sex with someone and they have anxiety, I get the anxiety, and I don't mean like crazy anxiety, but what happens is I at nighttime, my body starts to like twitch, and it starts to have like this nervous, uneasy, restless sensation. I don't know what the hell that is per se, but I know that people who have had sex with at those particular times, they were they had anxiety, a lot of anxiety. So it felt like it had to be some type of anxiety I picked up. Naturally, when that happens, I don't react to it because I know it's not my energy, and so I just bring my awareness to it, keep my awareness on it, let go of it, and it goes away. It literally goes away. I don't have to like do no rituals or anything. Just bringing my awareness to it, and I know it's not my actual energy. It goes away. Let me see. And so yeah, like I said, I don't have sex with a lot of partners. I am very selective on who I have sex with. And I highly encourage you guys to do the same thing. But teach his own. But definitely be mindful that sometimes a sexual entity is not this demonic thing. It is literally an emotion that you don't currently experience on a day-to-day basis, that this person have shifted or transferred to you, and now you're experiencing it. And so it is a spiritual act. Having sex in general is a spiritual act. The reason what makes it so spiritual is that you can procreate. So basically turn nothing into something. A baby comes into this existence by having sex with someone. That's like the goddamn most spiritual thing we can probably ever speak of in this entire existence. And so naturally, sex is a spiritual act. It became more recreational, of course, when we got up into modern day times, but in more ancestral tribe, ancient times, they utilized sex for spiritual growth and development and for procreation. They never really used it for recreation. That's something that's modern day. So they was very intentional about the sexual energy because they knew how powerful the sexual energy was or is. So be mindful of that as well. So like I said, rubbers can't protect you. Rubbers are meant for the physical body. It's not meant for the energetic body. If you have something where you feel like you need to protect yourself energetically, of course, always use, like I said, Florida water and like a water bottle spray. Kind of spray yourself down, spray your aura down. Use sage, use Palo Santo. But what I do in terms of like choosing my partner and like knowing who I want to have sex with is I use my discernment. So I highly advise you guys to get into the practice of using, we can call it spiritual discernment, where you're just spiritually judging who is the right person for you in an energetic, spiritual, mental, physical, emotional context in terms of having sex. So if you're looking to have sex with someone, don't think just physical, think mental, think emotional, think spiritual. I don't know if I said that. Think about all these different aspects of them and not just one aspect, which is the physical component. Because I guaranteed you, you're not getting anything that's just physical. The only thing that you'll be getting physical is a goddamn STD. You know, something that's actually you can go get proven and tested that this is what you have. But you haven't. You're gaining so much more than that in terms of the energetic and spiritual component. And so, you know, when you're having sex with someone, be mindful that while you're having sex with this person, you're also having an energy exchange. It's gonna be natural as fuck. You can't escape it. You can't protect yourself from it. But what you can do is prevent yourself from attracting a partner or being with someone who could potentially have something that you do not want to experience. And so having discernment is key for this. I feel like a lot of women naturally know who they want to have sex with before the guy even walks into the room and starts to speak. Most women naturally have I will fuck this shit out of this person. Now, of course, for men, they may just talk too fucking much, or they may be, I don't know, cornballs or whatever, hornballs or whatever, and they fuck it up. But for the most part, some women naturally know, like, yo, he can get it. You know what I'm saying? But also, a lot of women have spiritual discernment, because even if a person can get it, you know, sometimes depending on the woman, she may not be in that space or just want to have physical sex with them. She may want more, and so she's being mindful of what else this person offers, so she knows what she's taking in. So having spiritual discernment, I'm saying that word wrong, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Having spiritual discernment, there we go, will save you. And so every person that you interact with, like I said, as a reminder, as a recap, do your vetting system, however you vet people. For me, what I do to vet people to see if they even worth me having sex with them is emotionally. First, I gotta check your emotions. If your emotions are fucked up, I am not fucking with you, period. I'm not, because I ain't got time to be cleansing after we didn't have sex. Another way I can tell if your emotions, if your energy is right, prior to having sex, is if I lay next to you and I go to sleep next to you. Majority of time. If I go to sleep next to someone, I like that energy. Like when you sleep, your energy field is expanding. So like if I'm sleep next to someone, subconsciously I'm picking up their energy field because it's in my energy field. If I get nightmares or I'm uneased about something, or I'm unsettled or unresolved feeling towards me about something, it's coming from you. I'm sorry, whoever the fuck I'm laying next to, it'll be coming from you. And so that's cool. I ain't tripping, no judgment. I'm just not gonna choose to have sex with you, because if I'm having these experiences and we're not having sex yet, then I know when we have sex, I'm gonna be having more experiences that I don't wanna fucking have. So that are some of the ways that I kind of vet, and also being mindful how cleansed this person is, or how much are they into their spiritual hygiene. Do they take spiritual baths? Are they even aware what a fucking spiritual bath is? Do they use different spiritual tools to cleanse their aura field? How do they take care of themselves? It's not just the physical part. You know, it's not just like, does the woman shave, or does she use smell good for her yoni or whatever, or like, does the man shave, or does he take a shower? Like, those are basic things. We ain't talking about that. Pay attention to everything else that comes behind them. Like, are they using anything that's spiritual? Anything that, or let's say energetic, spiritual kind of sounds a little bit off. Something that's energetically cleansing, you know. Do they invest to anything like that? And that will give you a better indicator of who that person is, and how they value themselves in that particular context. And so it's, you know, using rubbers, which I highly encourage, and I may make a video on that, because I really feel like black people just need to stop fucking for a minute. But that's besides the point. Using rubbers is one thing, and having spiritual discernment is everything. So make sure that you are utilizing your discernment in terms of the partner that you're dealing with, or choosing to deal with, or may deal with. Pay attention to their fucking emotions. That is key. Ask the deep questions. You know, questions that they may not want to answer. Ask them fucking questions. See what are their self regulation tools. What What stress management tools do they have? How do they deal with stress? Especially, that's a great question. Ask them, how do they deal with stress, or what do they do to regulate themselves? Because if they're not regulating themselves or finding ways to release stress, they're carrying that fucking energy. If they're carrying that fucking energy, it's nothing for them to give you a hug and your ass could feel it. And really, you could test it that way too before you even have sex. If you're, like I said, if you're very sensitive to energy, you could hug them and can tell off the hug, depending on, whatever, the day or the mood or whatever. See if you feel anything from this particular hug. Or you can, before y'all actually do have sex, just give him a kiss or her a kiss or whatever, and see how you feel after the kiss. Because I've had women who I've kissed in the past, and I swear to you, I be so fucking drained. It's like I kissed a fucking I don't even fucking know, like I can't even think of something, but like, I don't know, kissed some fucking sand or something. Like, the shit was just dry and this shit didn't give me no fucking energy. And so you definitely want to be mindful of that is ways, it's like I said, it's a vetting system. Is many ways before you get to the final, okay, you can come in my house and we'll finally have sex. There should be some not challenges, some questions and certain I guess guidelines that has to be in play before things really get serious. Now, sometimes you could kind of feel the energy from the person. We ain't gotta do all that. Like, you could just kind of tell that they are already in good spirits. So you ain't gotta do too much questions and detective work. Especially when you get more and more in the practice of discernment, and you start to really narrow down your particular type of women, then you won't have to do so much of discernment, or vice versa, men and women. You won't have to do so much discernment because you have constantly sharpened your, let's say, manifestation. What's the word? I guess you can say, like, projection. So it's not like this wide selection of people that you're having sex with. It's only like a certain few because you kept sharpening your blade to make sure that you attract the type of people that you want. What that also looks like is the past two women who I've had sexual engagement with, both of them did not have COVID. I'm sorry, not COVID. The COVID shot. I personally don't have sex with people who have a COVID shot. That's just me. But that lets me know that my level of sharpening my blade has made me attract people who have not went down that path. And so, yeah, with that being said, definitely, to recap, use your spiritual discernment and use your rubbers, protect yourself as best as you can, and know that STEs, spiritual transmitted entities, is a thing, but sometimes it's not always this dark, gloomy shit. Sometimes it's just literally a fucking emotion that it's just not incongruent, or it is not conducive to your primary vibration. And so now you have to cleanse yourself to get yourself back in your primary vibration, because somehow it has tainted or it has distorted your energy. And so you need to kind of cleanse that bad boy off, do a spiritual bath or whatever. And I think that is it. I think I might get off this mic because I'm actually tired. So I just want to get on here and make a quick video for you guys. And if you have any questions, any commentary, please leave a comment. I do answer all my comments. Yeah, I definitely go through my comments. So if this resonates, or if you just want some more information on something, just let me know, and I can definitely send you some information, or I'll make another video if this hasn't been a clear message. So, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm at 30 minutes. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.